Chelsea obviously losing wasn't the storyline of the match week. Obviously, it was one of their disgruntled players. Why wouldn't that be? Obviously, they have 43 players on their payroll. Many of them are bound to get really disgruntled and dissatisfied, especially when they're not getting playing time. Raheem Sterling was one of them. Came out with a statement just before the game started that kind of took over the headlines, and obviously no one talking about the fact that Chelsea lost 2-0 to City. City obviously look like they haven't lost a bit. Arsenal look just the same. So much more. The Premier League is back. Let's get this going. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind of the Football Fans podcast, your go to one for all things Premier League football. Yes, the Premier League is back. I'm so happy. I hope you guys are happy. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. So glad you could join us for an amazing episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to please like and subscribe to the channel. We give you all the good stuff, the highlights, the analysis. Some breaking news also comes right from this channel. So don't forget, like, subscribe. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Where this is not the only place you can get us on YouTube. You can get us any other podcast platform. We're out there, so please check us out. So let's get straight into it. Match week 1 did not really disappoint. Obviously, there were some games that were just not as fun as others, but the fun games were really fun. So let's kick things off with the game of the match week, Chelsea versus City. Obviously, when I predicted this game, I had City winning this comfortably. Funny enough, if you go back to my intro, I said the storyline wasn't the fact that Chelsea lost. No, it was the fact that Chelsea have unhappy players. Shocking, right? Yes, Chelsea have 43 players on their payroll, and obviously some of them are meant to would definitely get sad when they are not getting playing time. These are world class players. We're talking about Raheem Sterling. We're talking about Conor Gallagher. We're talking about players that usually play for their country, not getting playing time. Obviously, you expect them to be sad. And one of them obviously did, and that was Sterling. And obviously, his camp came out with news that they wanted the situation clarified. I guess there was kind of a miscommunication with Enzo Maresca and Sterling about him maybe getting some kind of action, and that kind of not happened. And he felt disgruntled when the team sheet came out and his name wasn't on it. It is what it is. It's kind of shocking. That kind of took over the headlines. Chelsea was second best regardless, whether the headlines or not the headlines. Chelsea was still the second best team in that game. Team made up of 43 players. You do not expect them to gel. Chelsea do not have a starting lineup. Like, let's be frank. What is Chelsea's best starting lineup? No one really knows. Like, I can't tell you, oh, put Modric here, put what's his name? Nkuku here, put Jackson. I can't tell you who fits what. I think for Enzo Maresca, he's literally in his house, literally praying for the transfer window to end. Like, he's like, please just end, please. Because literally every day you open your phone, every day you check the headlines, you always see something about Chelsea either buying a player or loaning a player or something. They're agreeing with some sort of deal. And most of the time, the deals are not outgoings, they're all incoming deals. So it's kind of weird. So Enzo Maresca is just like, please, 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 close the transfer window, please. And I'm sure he's like, when this transfer window ends, I'll probably get my best at 11. And that's kind of what you expect. Because you kind of know your team, you kind of know the players that remain, you kind of know who is in and out of the project. But I must say, the way Chelsea have treated some of their players is just ridiculous. Conor Gallagher treated him like absolute dog shit. He was meant to move to Atletico. They couldn't sort out the deal with Atletico. Some last minute things here and there. It's kind of pissing. And then you go back to, like, I think it was last year. Yeah, January transfer window last year. I remember Hakim Ziyech, the same thing with PSG or Galatasaray. I can't remember the team precisely. Chelsea couldn't submit the papers in time. Hakim Ziyech was already at the country he was moving to, and then they couldn't submit it. So when you think of things like that, I see things like that. You're like, what is going on with this football club? If you see likes of Trevor Chalobah, fans are calling, why are they being treated like this? It was in news on Saturday that Ben Chilwell their vice captain, Enzo Maresca, came out and said he does not have a place in my team. Your vice captain, that's crazy. Like, how do you come out and say things like that? Like, as I said, the way they are just treating players, just really, really bad, and it's kind of sad to see, especially these are good players that literally are international players, players that could walk into any other team and play comfortably, and this is how Chelsea are treating them. I must say, bad karma. Karma ends up catching up with you. But yeah, let's go back to the game. We diverted, we derailed a little bit, but let's get back into the game. Obviously, Chelsea lost to City 2-0. City looked like City, like they just dominated pretty much everything. I'll say though, they didn't look as Chelsea had a few chances, and if probably they had taken those chances, would have made the game interesting, or sorry, rather much more interesting than it was. They, I think we because they were missing Rodri, kind of just I don't know, it kind of just made the game kind of feel not as controlled as they would have loved it, but it was still a controlled game from City. Kovacic pretty much bossed that midfield. Savinho, I have to give props to Savinho. I remember when I was doing my predictions, I was like, I've really not seen anything from Savinho. I don't know what he's going to bring. But well, I kind of saw it in first, especially when him and Doku switched the wings. At first Cucurella was marking Doku, and Doku could not get breathing space. But then they switched, and every time Savinho went at Cucurella, he was getting room. Every time he was just beating. I think he had like 3 or 4 successful dribbles against Cucurella every time. It was just, and then Doku on the left hand side too was just pretty much getting all that he wanted to get to. So overall, I think City kind of started how they wanted to start. Good game from City. Rico Lewis, I have to give props to him. Amazing. Came in for Kyle Walker. De Bruyne doing De Bruyne things as usual. Like Haaland doing Haaland things, scoring. As I said, Haaland is 37 goals to reach 100 Premier League goals. He made his 100th Premier League appearance yesterday, and it was just amazing to see. Amazing to see City again. I still think they will not win the league. I still think when shove comes to push, it will be really, really bad. I think they will kind of fall just because of the amount of games they will play in the course of the football calendar year. I did see something today though. They look like they want to bring Gundogan back. Gundogan doesn't look like he wants to be in Barcelona no more. So it looks like they are bringing him back. That'll be good. That'll be good. Strength in the midfield, especially with the amount of games going on. I think it would be really good for both him and Gundogan. Moving on, let's move on to my team. Arsenal 2, Wolves nil. I think it was a comfortable game for Arsenal. Arsenal looks like pretty much where they left off last season, or pretty much in May. They looked absolutely lovely. Bukayo Saka was amazing. The goal by Havertz was just phenomenal. That was an amazing ball, by the way, I must say. Saka plays that on the needle, and Havertz just puts it in there. That was good ball by Arsenal. Wolves, I think in the second half came out and they dominated. They tried to show what they could do or what they can do, and against teams like this, you just have to take your chances. Like when they give you an inch, take a mile. Like that's just how it is. When they give you an inch, take a mile. Because Arsenal, Wolves had some good chances. Arsenal allowed them to have the ball most of the time, and they couldn't take their chances. Obviously, Strangolasi had that chance, an amazing save by Raya. Second half, there was a ball by Saliba, and Cunha just played it straight to Raya. Like he literally just played it straight to Raya, and I'm like, if they give you an inch, take a mile. Like literally, this is what the actual definition of the saying means. If they give you an inch, take a mile. It's that simple. So, and I've seen a lot of predictions out there saying Wolves will get relegated. Wolves haven't done enough. La la, whatever. All that good stuff. But I still think Gary O'Neill is that manager to take Wolves to the next step. Obviously, last season, their last 10 games or so, they didn't finish in the best way. I think they just won one in like 10 or something like that. But obviously, during the beginning and towards the middle, they were balling their lives out. So I still think Gary O'Neill will do something amazing. He has a nice team, good team, balanced team. I don't think there will be more incomings in terms of for Wolves, but I still think they will do. Wolves will be amazing. Wolves will legit contend for that, between 10th and 14th. I think that's where they will kind of contend for. Arsenal, like just business done as usual. The goals, the clean sheets. That's what we want. We want a professional performance. In this league, yes, we want good football, we want amazing football, but we also want professional performances, not giving up chances as much as some other teams. I'm not going to mention names. But yeah, that's what we want. Amazing performance by Arsenal. Next week though, it will be impressive. It will be important, not impressive. It will be important that we see a performance like this again, especially playing away at Aston Villa. I think Arsenal need to build up their game. But yeah, amazing game from Arsenal. We move on to the next one. United won, Fulham nil. For the first time watching a United game, I was like, United are not playing counter-attacking football. And I was like, this is so good to see. Like, I'm watching United and I'm like, okay, United is having the ball, they're having possession, they are, passing the ball. Rashford is they're having, Bruno should have had like a hat trick in that game. I'm sorry. Bro should be able to finish better. Bruno should have had a hat trick in that game. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. I think Rashford looked like he's gotten himself back. Bruno looks good as always. I think the defense, they had a few things here and there. Fulham could have taken their chances. But overall, I guess at this point, the first game of the season is all about the result. Just get the 3 points as a team. Know that you're starting off properly. Like that's just what it's all about. Get those 3 points and we move on to the next one. Obviously, Joshua Zirkzee, I think this was a good game for him. Coming in on 76 minutes. I think this was important for him. You know, um, he's not your traditional striker, just so you know. He's kind of a false nine. Roberto Firmino, perfect example of what a type of striker is. And I think that's kind of the striker United need to be able to open those wide spaces for Rashford and Garnacho or Ahmad or whoever is playing on the wide side to cut in and have space to shoot and do what they do best. And Rashford had so many opportunities of that. Garnacho had so many opportunities of that. If you saw the goal, Zirkzee got the ball, played it to Garnacho. Garnacho cut in and gave the crossing, and obviously Zirkzee driving it. What you expect your number eight, the person playing in the eight, to do, kind of coming from midfield and kind of hits the ball on the head. That's kind of what Zirkzee is, and that's kind of what he is. I think he's a hybrid between a traditional nine and an eight and kind of a 10 too, because he does drop back. He knows how to play those passes. So very good for Zirkzee. We saw the elites coming. Amazing. I said it's all about the results. Get those 3 points your first game and build from there. I mean, it's a long season. 38 games is a long season. Long number of large amount of games to be played this season. So I think United getting that first win, especially with the attendance that was in crowd. You had the Inos board, you had everyone pretty much in there. So I think it was important they got the win, and yeah, let's see. Should be upward momentum from now on. Just getting those 3 points from now on. And it won't be easy, but yeah. So United, I'm happy for United. I hope United fans enjoyed that game. Hopefully United keep playing games where they control the game, knowing when to control a game, knowing when to play counter-attacking game, knowing when to sit back and all that type of things. The big teams know how to do that, and for United to get to that next stage, they should be able to know when to the game plan for each type of game, not just playing counter-attacking football against every team in the league. Like that's bizarre. But moving on. Ipswich nil, Liverpool 2. I must say Ipswich. I'll start with Ipswich on this. There was a reason why I did not put Ipswich in my relegation prediction. I had a feeling that, and I still have that feeling that they will not get relegated. And watching the first 60 minutes of this Liverpool game, I stand on it. I stand that Ipswich will not get relegated. Do you know why? It's simple. They know when to adapt. So if you remember last season, Burnley had the style of football. They were stuck on it. Vincent Company was stuck on it. And that's what killed them. But Ipswich, I think knows they have their type of football they will play. But they know that against the big boys, they know that they will need to change their style of play. In the Premier League, you have to be adaptable. To survive in this league, you have to be adaptable. You cannot just stick to one style of football. And just we're talking about like Manchester United, where they stuck on the counter-attack football last season, and that's what killed them. The big teams, the teams that stay in the Premier League, adapt. They can change their style of play, and I think that is what will keep Ipswich. First 60 minutes of this game, yes, they lost 2-0, but the first 60 minutes of this game, I think allowed Ipswich, they showed how adaptable they can be to play according to the opponent they are playing. And I think that's very important. I think that's very needed to be able to, play in the Premier League. So kudos to Ipswich. Yes, they lost 2-0. But as I said, I stand on my prediction. Ipswich are not getting relegated. Hold me to that. But back to Liverpool. Liverpool obviously 12:30 kickoff time in the UK. Freaking 7:30 p.m. Sorry, 7:30 a.m. up in the States here. Early kickoff. That's bizarre. Now I know why Jurgen Klopp doesn't like 12:30 kickoff games, early kickoff games on a Saturday. Liverpool looked Liverpool looked disjointed at first, and they just looked like they needed something, a spark. They needed something, and obviously at halftime, Arne Slot made a substitution, Jared Kwanzaa, for Ibrahim Konate, or rather Ibrahim Konate for Jared Kwanzaa, or rather, and and obviously later in the press conference, he comes out and says we needed to be physical, we needed to win more aerial duels, and that's kind of what Arne Slot's ball is: winning every physical battle, winning all the 50-50, winning everything. And you saw it in the second half, they came out and clicking. And obviously, by the way, Ipswich, obviously, you could see that their first time debutants in the Premier League, that cannot play the part. But you could see Liverpool get their game plan back, get the rhythm, get the style, get their swag back. Salah looked rejuvenated. Oh my God, Salah. I captained him on my FPL, just so you know. As I said, those players have my FPL. I captained him on my FPL. 22 points. Amazing. I think he had a goal. Did he have an assist? I think, yes, he had an assist. He assisted Jota, yes. Yes, very well. He assisted Jota. So, Salah looking good with the new hairstyle. Loved it. Liverpool looking good. Dominic Soboslai. I saw a different part of his game, and I think I saw it all through preseason. His game is different compared to last season. He's playing both sides of the field. Like he's playing both defensively and attacking. I think he's playing more of defensively now. So you see him both attacking. I see him at back helping out Trent, helping out, the fullback, whoever it is there. And I think that's kind of Slot's ball. Being physical, dominating your opponents, winning all the duels. And obviously that's football precisely. But like that's just Liverpool 2.0 slot ball, as some might say. So good result for Liverpool. I said I think they will do good things this season. Finish third. They'll still finish third. Like let's just be frank, they'll still finish third. So yeah, big ups to Liverpool. Let's move on to Everton Brighton. Yeah, this one will probably come to bite me in the ass. Okay, so I had Everton to Brighton, and I said obviously my reason at that time was because we don't know what we'll get from Brighton. We don't know new manager, all that good stuff. Well, now we do. We know what Brighton is. Obviously, Everton they were terrible. Like the first 20 minutes they were amazing. I'll give them props to it. First 20, 30 minutes they were amazing in the game. They had some good chances. Everyone was connecting. And then it just went downhill pretty fast. And especially when Ashley Young, oh that was stupid. Especially when Ashley Young got that red card. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. That was stupid of him. Um, I think Everton, as I said, they won't fight in relegation. They, in a short period in time, precisely 20 minutes period in time, they showed what they could do. They showed that they know what they were doing. And it just shows that anything can derail you. Especially after that first goal it just went downhill from there. And yeah, Brighton looked good. They took their chances well. Obviously, we'll still keep watching them. We'll still keep watching the new guy. I really don't know his name right now. His name is just really hard to pronounce. I've not even tried. So, but he looks good. The youngest manager in Premier League, at 31 years old. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I don't see them finishing in the Europe spot, but I think it'll be nice. Nice. They'll do good things. They'll do good things. But yeah, good game. Everton definitely needs to build up on. I can't tell you who they are playing as of the moment right now. But yeah, I think they will do good stuff. They will do good stuff, Everton. Newcastle won, Southampton nil. I don't know if it's because Newcastle are playing with 10 men. I don't know what it was, but Southampton looked good. I'll tell you that. Southampton looked good. Not sure why, but they look good. Obviously, as I said, Newcastle played with 10 men. Fabian Schär did something very stupid. Absolutely stupid. Like, you do not head whatever someone to the ground. Like, you do not just do that. Like, anywhere as a human being, you do not just go and be head. No, no, no. You don't do that. So that was absolutely stupid from Fabian Schär. Newcastle, as I said, going to St James Park, I didn't think it would be easy for Southampton. I expected it to be a blowout. Again, I don't know why it was a blowout. But as I said, it's only the first game of the season, 3 points. Just get those 3 points, get yourself settled. I know they tell you it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But then there's also the saying, start as you mean to finish, you know? So if you start good, you should be on your way. And I know it's a long season, don't get me wrong, it's a long season, but you want to start good. So I think for Newcastle, starting good was really important. I think it was essential that they started real good, you know. So big ups to Newcastle. Absolutely stupid and dumb from Fabian Schär. So yeah. Moving on. West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2. Expect I can't I can't remember what I said for this, but I think I said Aston Villa will win this game. And obviously they did. West Ham, you know what? West Ham, as I said, will be the underachievers of the season. And again, I was watching the predictions, Social Saturday, and they were giving top 10 signings of the transfer window. And pretty much some of the names up there were, I think 75% of the names up there were all West Ham signings. You cannot expect all those new signings to just come in and all play really good. West Ham looked dysfunctional. I'm sorry. Against Aston Villa, they looked really dysfunctional. I think, and I know I said they'll be the underachievers of the season. I'll still stick by it, but I think they just looked like they need time. They need time to gel. They need time to find the right pieces to play where. I don't think Thomas Suchek didn't look comfortable. Um, yeah, they created some nice chances, but I also just think Villa were not up on their game as they usually would be. Yes, they won, but you know, I don't think Watkins was in the game. But not to take the attention away from West Ham. Excuse me. West Ham will need time to gel. I think West Ham will need some the players precisely will need some minutes to just play together and have fun, before we actually start seeing the results. I think it will take them a while. Um, I really don't know their fixture list precisely. I think it will take them a minute just to get their just to get their bearings. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Oh, they play Crystal Palace next. That'll be a good one. My overachievers of the season away. I think that'll be good. We'll see both teams how they play. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Aston Villa. As I said, I don't see Aston Villa finishing in top four this season. Some predictions have it different, but they played good enough to win the game. Again, the result is all that matters. The result is all that matters. So yeah, Villa. Love what I saw from Villa. Watkins though. Watkins only gave me 3 points, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not angry. 3 points is all good. Credit to Villa. Credit to Emery. Can't wait to see what Villa has in store for us this season. They play entertaining football. Love watching Villa every time. Moving on to Brentford to Crystal Palace. Why? Obviously, I predicted this one to be a draw. I remember just saying this would be a draw just because the both teams, and obviously coming out from the Brentford camp, Ivan Toney didn't make the team sheet, e- either starting or on the bench. Thomas Frank came out and said, obviously, there are some reports him going out, and he just felt they needed to not put him in just for him because I don't think he was focused. That's fair. I'm so sad that that report isn't from Arsenal. I'm so sad that Arsenal isn't chasing that, but it is what it is. It's all about finding the right pieces at the right time. So I'm not too bad. Wherever Ivan Tony goes, or if he actually goes at all, I think he'll be a superstar there. But yeah, credit to Brentford. They came out, they executed. They didn't really dominate the game. They didn't have control of the game. Palace did all that. Palace could have taken their chances. See, and I'll give Mateta the benefit of the doubt just because he's coming back from the Olympics. Eze too, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt just because he's also coming back from the Euros. But those two guys had chances. They should have taken their chances. If they had done that, I don't think Brentford would have had an inch to be able to take a mile in that game. So absolutely buzzing for Brentford. We'll see what happens with Tony. Palace looks like there might not be any incoming anytime soon, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it was good. And I guess to round up the games, even though we still have one more game as of time of recording today, we still have Leicester playing Tottenham at the King Power Stadium today. But to round up the review analysis of the match week, Forest won, Bournemouth won. I really don't have much to say on this game. It was a good game. Bourne Forest took control of the game, pretty much had the first goal, Chris Wood. I had Chris Wood in my FPL. I had Chris Wood in my FPL. Yes, I did have Chris Wood in my FPL. So credit to both teams. I think Bournemouth will need a minute to get their footings right after losing Solanke. I think he was a vital piece for them. So losing him obviously will take a toll on them. But I think they will find their bearings, and credit to both teams. We'll see where both teams finish. I mean, I had Forest being relegated, so we'll see. My boy Taiwo Awayan is on that team, so I don't know. I might rethink that prediction again, but yeah, good match week. Love the vibe. We still have one more game to go in the match week. Leicester playing Spurs, as I mentioned earlier, to be a good game, electric game. Leicester coming back just one season after being out of the Premier League. Spurs looking to build on what they did last season and fix up all those defensive issues they have at the back. So it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see. I'm excited to have a game on a Monday. My predictions for that game still stand. I think Spurs win that. I'm going for a 3-1 3-1 win. And when we come back in next episode, we'll talk about that game. We'll talk about what we saw, what we liked from Spurs, and see if it's too early to say Spurs will finish in the fourth position. We'll see. We'll see. But overall, it was a good match week. As I said, the headlines of the match week coming from the Chelsea camp. Obviously, when you have 43 players in your team, you cannot keep all of them happy. In a sport where only 20 players are needed, having twice that amount cannot be good for a football club. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that. They're making my blood. Oh, see, I can't even speak correct. Chelsea are making me. They are making me think go crazy. They're making my blood boil. Yes, Chelsea are making my blood boil. Yes, that's what I meant to say. But yeah, biggest headline: Sterling obviously wants clarification, for not being in the matchday squad. Today again, I saw something about Chelsea signing Joao Felix. I'm like, do they really need Joao Felix? They still have Lukaku. They still have Amaro Boha. They have players. Come on, Chelsea, what are you doing? Anyways, not to derail from the episode, just a little rant on Chelsea. But yeah, that's the end of Match Week 1. I cannot wait for Match Week 2. This season is going to be electric. Make sure you catch Match Week 2. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and don't forget you can catch us wherever you get your podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, we're out there. So check us out. Check out our socials. I apologize for the content this past week, but make sure you expect to see content this week. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing week ahead. We'll see you next episode reviewing Match Week 2. I'm out. Peace.
We are Rogue Media Sports.